You're now going to hear people talk about illness, and yet they will also talk about celebrations, about joy, about laughter, and about enrichment. How can that be? We have the notion that laws of nature exist, but no one's defined them. Perhaps a law of nature decrees that we cannot have a front without a back. We cannot have joy without sorrow. We cannot appreciate peace without striving. We cannot perceive light without darkness.
I was changed profoundly by my experience with cancer. It may sound a little maudlin, but when I was able to get out and take a walk, I had a better appreciation of a beautiful day, of flowers around me, of friends around me. We tend to, because we're human, just to take things for granted. We get upset with the little things in life. But cancer changes all of that. And in a way, that's where I think cancer can do a lot of good, because you develop a deeper appreciation for life and all that's around you, your family and your friends.
I also think that having cancer is an opportunity within oneself to cope better with life and to cope better, I think, with the pain and the suffering of other people. And an opportunity, I would say, to be able to try to not diminish or put aside, but to lower the level of your own concerns and to try to reach out to others, and that's definitely a good.
The patients give me great joy. I'm always in awe of the strength that they have, the humor that they have. They know that life is precious, and they're living to make the best of it. Their body may be full of disease, but their spirits are strong.
When I was a child, my parents would say, so-and-so, they're ill, and then there'd be a silence, and they didn't talk about cancer. They said the big C sometimes. Or Aunt so-and-so, you know, they can't do anything about that. They didn't even mention the word. It was a long time ago, of course. But that's the way cancer was. People didn't talk about it, and that's one of the things that I think is better about today, that you can talk about your problems. And you can talk about all kinds of cancer, and it doesn't embarrass anybody.
You have the cancer diagnosis, and there is a lot of difficulty trying to deal with that diagnosis, your perceptions of that diagnosis. But I quickly try to let people know that there is a lot that we can do to treat their cancers, make them feel better. A lot we can do to make the treatments easier for them so they're not sick all the time, which is a big concern for people, and really try to help them get on with their lives or improve the quality of their lives so they can do the things that they want to do in their lives.
When I received the diagnosis, and I was pretty much told by the doctor that I was going to be spending a lot of time at the hospital, blood work, lots of testing, treatments, 16 weeks, then had to go to another hospital for radiation for an additional 7.5 weeks. And then when I'm through with that, I get to come back to the original hospital for 1 to 2 years for a certain type of infusion that I need for my kind of cancer. I have no control. I have lost all of the control over my life. And that's a scary place to be when first you never saw this. You never saw this coming. You never thought you'd be sitting in these shoes, taking this journey, sometimes by yourself, feeling like you're by yourself, because really nobody does understand.
When you're faced with the prospect of dying, for real, you think of things that you don't think of before. You know, is this my last fall? Am I going to see the leaves again? Will I see snow again? You know, different things start to come into your mind. You know, and again, you can't be prepared for it until, you know, it's a ton of bricks that hit you that says, you know, you really have a serious problem. You either got to stand up and take care of it or not. And
it's as if having cancer gives me a new lease on life in a way that makes me more careful, more open, more aware of my life and life around me, and my desire to make it as meaningful as possible.
I'm a cancer survivor. It's been a up and down road for me. Good came from out of cancer. I feel like just hugging everyone that I come in contact with. You know, this is in my soul now to do that. And I feel close to people. Before I felt I was always more distant, but now I just don't feel that way anymore towards people, because God gave me a second chance and I'm going to take advantage of it. Throughout this experience, I realized that I was not in charge. The guy upstairs was, and that's okay.
A patient is first going to have chemotherapy. They're frightened, so a big part of what you do is to reassure them and make them relaxed. Then they know the score, they know the ropes, they're jumping on the scale, telling you what medications work. They become the pro. And that's a different relationship, and there's a lot of kidding and catching up, sharing between the nurse and the patient. And then if a treatment doesn't work anymore, it changes again, and you kind of grieve together.
On the last day of their chemo, what it means to me is it's a major accomplishment. It's a major step towards wellness again, towards surviving, towards regaining control over their life. And I'm proud of that. Not necessarily just the role that I've played in it, but in their accomplishment, what they've been able to accomplish and do. It's a big job. It's tough.
You know, in a strange sense, this experience has been positive. It might be hard to understand, but I appreciate my friends more. They appreciate me more. I appreciate my wife and family more, and they appreciate me more. And in that odd sense, it has been a blessing, because it kind of took you out of a rut that you were starting in. I'm, you know, still fairly young, and you know, you can now look at people's lives and who are older than me, who are younger than me, and you know, I've experienced enough of life to get a feel for how people go and where things happen and how things happen and how people are running their lives and what could happen down their trails as they go along. And this experience has been positive in that way, to kind of clear out the fog, or clear out the weeds, if you will, of what really is important and what really is not important. I don't get upset like I used to get. Little things don't bother me anymore. Even big things don't bother me anymore. I mean, what's bigger than being told you have cancer and, you know, you have a limited amount of time to live based on statistics? But statistics are just that, statistics. There's people who beat them and there's people who don't, and I choose to be somebody who will beat it. And in that sense, I think this has helped me become a better person for my family and friends.